The words hit me like a slap across the face, sharp and unexpected in the bustling hum of the restaurant kitchen. "I don't want any food touched by one of them," the man snarled, his voice carrying through the swinging doors as he pointed toward me from his table. His face twisted in disgust, eyes narrowing as if my very presence contaminated the air. I froze mid-stir, the spoon hovering over the simmering pot of aromatic spices I'd perfected over years of practice. In that instant, a wave of humiliation crashed over me, leaving an aching void where pride should have been. What had I done to deserve this judgment, this rejection based solely on who I am? My name is Kareem Nasser, and I've always believed that food could bridge divides, that a well-cooked meal could soften even the hardest hearts. I came to America from Jordan 12 years ago, chasing the dream of sharing my family's recipes with the world. Back home, my grandmother taught me to cook with love, infusing every dish with the warmth of our traditions. Here in this warm Italian Mediterranean fusion restaurant in suburban Chicago, I'd risen from dishwasher to executive chef through nothing but stubborn passion and long nights. But moments like this reminded me that some people never see the man. They only see the beard, the name, the faith, and decide that's enough to fear me. That night, the dinner rush was beautiful chaos. The air was thick with garlic, lemon, saffron, and the smoky kiss of sumac I sprinkled on everything like a signature. My sous chef, Isabella, a Mexican-American firecracker who'd been with me since the beginning, danced around me with her usual energy. "Kareem, that lamb is singing tonight," she laughed, plating a dish with edible flowers. I grinned back at her, tasting the sauce one last time. Perfect. Then the ticket came back from table 9. Ethan, our youngest server, pushed through the doors looking sick. "Chef, the guy at 9 says he won't eat anything you touched. He saw your name on the specials board and asked if you're, Muslim?" The voice cracked on the last word. I felt the familiar burn in my chest, the same burn I'd felt at airports, job interviews, school meetings for my daughters. I kept my voice calm. "Tell him the food is made with clean hands and a clean heart. That's all I can offer." Ethan hesitated. "He's being really loud about it." I nodded once, turned back to the stove, and kept cooking. But every stir of the spoon felt heavier now. 20 minutes later, the man's voice boomed through the entire dining room. "I know who's back there. I don't want that food. Get me a different chef or I'm leaving." Heads turned, phones came out. Mr. Moretti, the owner, a second-generation Italian with the patience of a saint, tried to calm him. I heard snippets of "best chef in Illinois" and "sir, please lower your voice," and then the man's ugly reply, "I don't trust people like him, not after everything we've seen on TV." Isabella muttered something in Spanish that would have made her abuela reaching for the chancla. I just kept my head down, plating orders, smiling at the runners, acting like my heart wasn't cracking in half. I thought about my wife Yasmin, waiting at home with our girls, Layla and Sophia. I wondered what I would tell them tonight when I came home smelling like shame instead of za'atar. Near the end of service, when the kitchen finally slowed, I slipped out the back door into the alley. The November air was cold enough to sting. I leaned against the brick wall, pressed my forehead to the cool brick, and whispered the only prayer that ever helps when people hate me for existing. "Allah, make me patient. Make me better than their fear." When I walked back in, Isabella hugged me without saying anything. That hug nearly broke me. Then came the scream. "He's choking! Somebody help!" I ran.
I didn't think. I just moved. "Sir, let me—" I started, but there was no time for permission. I got behind him, wrapped my arms around his waist, found the spot with my fist, and thrust hard, once, twice, 3 times. On the 4th, a piece of breaded veal shot across the table like a bullet. He collapsed forward, gasping, coughing, alive. The restaurant exploded in applause and sobs. Someone shouted, "That's the chef he wouldn't let cook for him!" Phones were up again, but this time they were filming a miracle, not a scandal. Paramedics arrived within minutes. They checked him, nodded at me with professional respect. "Nice work. You saved him." The man sat slumped in his chair, chest heaving, staring at me like he'd seen a ghost. His wife was crying into her hands. I started to walk away. "Wait," he croaked. I stopped. He looked up, eyes red. You saved my life." I nodded once. "I'm sorry," he said, voice breaking. "I'm so sorry. I was an idiot. Worse than an idiot. I judged you, and you didn't hesitate." His wife reached out and touched my arm. "Thank you. Thank you for not letting him die because he was cruel to you." I looked at them both for a long moment. Then I said the only thing that felt true. "I didn't save you because you're a good man. I saved you because I'm a Muslim, and that's what we do." Then I walked back to my kitchen. The next day the story was everywhere. Local news, viral videos, messages pouring in from strangers all over the world. Customers lined up around the block. Old friends I hadn't heard from in years called crying. A week later, the man came back alone. He waited until the restaurant closed. When I stepped out, he was standing by the door holding a small box of baklava from the best Jordanian bakery in the city. "I don't expect forgiveness," he said quietly. "I just wanted to say it to your face. I was wrong. About everything. And I've been wrong for years. You changed that." He handed me the box. Our fingers brushed. His were shaking. I accepted it. "Come back any time. The lamb is always better the second time." He laughed through tears. "I'll be here every Friday." He kept his word. Every Friday for the rest of that year, he sat at the same table, ordered my specials, and tipped double. Sometimes he brought his wife, sometimes his grown kids. They all learned how to say Alhamdulillah when the food arrived perfect. And every time he looked at me, I saw it, the quiet shame that never fully leaves a person once they've seen the cost of their own hatred. But I also saw something else. Gratitude. Real humbling gratitude. Because sometimes the people who hurt you the most are the ones who need your mercy the most. And sometimes, only sometimes, mercy actually works.